Alright guys, so today we're having a slight change of events. As you guys know, I recently supercharged my M50. It's on my BMW. This thing. What I've been waiting on to get this thing on the road and like really hitting is my electric fans, my coolant hose, and a tune. Sounds easy enough, but after much research, talking to a lot of people, I've discovered the ECU that operates this engine is basically useless. It just doesn't have the tuning capabilities that we need to make the supercharge actually perform as well as it should. And that being said, I can get a new ECU. I could replace it with the aftermarket ECU, but then at that point I'm gonna be spending over $1,200 for an ECU and another $600 to get it tuned. So we're gonna have almost $2,000 to just get my M50 tuned, when in the end it's not really the best motor. But we have other options. We have an M52 sitting over there. Right there, an M52. Now the M52 is a newer style version of this motor. It has a variable intake cam. It's OBD2, it has 0.3 more liters of displacement. I know there's parts of the engine that are weaker than my M50 and that concerns a lot of people, but at 6 pounds of boost, we should be perfectly fine. I'm not worried about it at all. 6 pounds is very conservative. So that being said, we're gonna be swapping the M52 into my E36. It's a big change of events, but I'm not too worried about it. It should be a fairly easy swap. In the long run, that'll be better. I'll probably pull a little more power out of it, and I'm excited. So I guess we're just gonna be pulling the E36 apart, pulling the M52 apart, getting E36 ready, getting the M52 ready, and just swapping everything in, swapping all the supercharger stuff over, refiguring out the whole adapter plate, and just going from there. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm excited. So I guess let's stop talking and get started because we have a lot of work ahead of us. My first time working on a BMW like this, so I'm just going to tackle it and hopefully it works out. Now, I'm going to take the supercharger off initially though, make my life a lot easier just because it takes up so much room in here and I don't want to damage it pulling the engine, so we're just going to blast this thing off right now. So, alright, it's off. Now what we have to do is we have to pull the fuel lines, vacuum lines, wire harness, get this thing in the air, and start unbolting things. Okay, so we're gonna leave the power steering pump in the car for now. That's always a good trick when you're pulling engines. If you can, leave the power steering pump in the car because then you don't have to drain the reservoir, you don't have to disconnect it from the rack, keep the fluid all in the system nice and clean, and it'll make your life a lot easier and cleaner. So a lot has happened since I last checked in with you guys, but I just been kind of trying to bang this out. I know you guys don't really care too much about the whole process of it, but we're getting there. So I pulled the whole wire harness off. This is actually really nice. So we have two main connects here. We have a power, and then we have our power block over here, which we have two power wires that go into. Everything completely in bolts, and I just pulled the ECU out from the rain tray, and just goes right on top of the engine. It's nice. There's no other connects that go from the engine to the chassis. This is like super easy. I really like this. Fuel lines disconnected, heater hose lines disconnected, wire harness disconnected. Now I gotta go underneath the car and bang that stuff out. So I got the car on jack stands fully, so we can unbolt the drive shaft, the exhaust, and hopefully that's it. All right, so we're good. The exhaust is disconnected. I guess you can't tell. So is the drive shaft, and the tranny's ready to drop. A lot of you guys could tell I got the tranny and the engine all as one. I didn't get the tranny, unfortunately. When I was trying to take off the transmission at Tommy's, one of the bolt heads broke off, and I can't get it off. So I just cut the head off, grinded it down, and it still won't come off. This is now my next mission is to get that damn transmission off. All of the bolts are out. Except that. Do you guys see that? That took way longer than I would ever like to admit to. That transmission did not want to come off. That stupid broken bolt. It's off. Now I'm going to put this on the ground, push out of the way, not worry about it today. All the parts come in for it tomorrow, and we'll refresh it tomorrow. Today we gotta get this thing out. Now we have to move this onto this engine. Let's try it out. I think I did it right. All right, so we have the hoist now hooked up. I hooked it up in a very, very poor way. On this engine, we were able to use a bolt in the back that I could not get to with the engine in the car. So what I did was I kind of wrapped around a manifold and used a front bolt, and it's gonna come out sideways. It's gonna come out really unbalanced, but with the front end off, it shouldn't really matter. As long as we can yank this thing out, we should be all set. So time to disconnect the tranny and start pulling. Yo, what do you think of the M52?
It's got Vanos. It's got coil packs. It's got intake manifold we ain't gonna use. It's got a bad water pump. It's just whiny. Listen to this thing. If Drew wouldn't be power washing his freaking ATVs and crap, we could listen to this dang thing.
How often does Drew power wash though?
Every single day.
That's it.
Every day.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Oh God!
Oh, that was
the lens. Round two. Round two. We need. Ready? Sounds like a little angry, upset kitten. It's hungry for its mother's milk.
Oh boy, so I gotta take the trans and clutch off this end. This engine's my M50 is so clean. Like for a BMW engine, this thing is stupid clean. I spent hours cleaning this thing. Still gross as fuck. Ugh, whatever. So, ordered a bunch of refresh parts for this, like water pump, thermostat, exhaust gasket, intake gaskets,
Oil pan gasket,
like typical stuff that I should do while it's out. Well, that was a lot easier than the other transmission.
Sweet.
Alright guys, so we gotta take this off because we're gonna be using this on the M52. I believe it works. I guess we'll find out. So if you guys remember, I manual swapped this car when I initially got it. This car was auto when I first got it. We put a clutch in it, put an aftermarket clutch in it, single mass, so the flywheel is one piece. I didn't do a good job breaking this one in. I kind of just sent it, and it's not horrible. It's definitely more grooves than I was hoping for, but it wasn't slipping, so we should be all set. Fingers crossed, whatever. Now, the OEM style clutch right here, as you can see, the flywheel is dual mass, which means there's two pieces to it. It's definitely not, you know, shot, but it's, yeah, it's about there. There we go. Now I have to get this on a stand. I gotta find one because someone took mine, and start exchanging parts, I guess, and get it ready for tomorrow when all my parts show up. Came to the rescue with the engine stands, and the lift. This is Eddie, so Eddie, thank you. Definitely wasn't anticipating 2 engine swaps this week, but I wanted to take a moment of appreciation to address the fact that none of the manifold bolts either stripped nor seized. They all came out. Rarely does that happen. I can't believe I just got these off. We're straight. Okay, so putting an engine on an engine stand is always it's a pretty sketchy experience. When it comes to mounting this on an engine stand, I used to try and mount the engine to the stand itself with the claw in it. Way easier to mount the claw and then stick into the stand. Just a word of advice. We're gonna use the IS as a tripod. Gonna kill us. Oh, the whole freaking. There we go. This thing looks huge on the stand. I'm so used to little SRs. Alright guys, so I was looking at it and comes to find out this actually does have an M50 intake already on it, which is like actually pretty cool. This whole time I was expecting to have to swap this one on here, and I'm kind of really happy that I don't have to, because it's a lot less work I have to do now. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the M50, which is this motor, my old motor, and the M52, which is my new motor, that is a 2.5 non-Vanos. This is a 2.8 Vanos. Vanos is a variable intake cam, so I mentioned this a few times, but the M50, this intake actually has bigger runners. These things right here. Even though they do look pretty puny, I guess the M52 ones are even smaller. So these have been proven to have like at least 10 horsepower gain from just this alone, which is absolutely insane. So awesome. Now I have to go through this and see what the heck I could delete, because you guys know I love deleting things. Alright guys, so I'm gonna take the AC compressor, condenser, I forget which one is which. This one's off. I know this one's bad. The one on my M50 is actually bad too, so I'm gonna take this off for now, and then when I get a new one, because I do want AC in the car, I'll put it in. It'll be nice and easy. It's only 4 volts, so look how much it's gonna simplify it though. Ready? Definitely cleans this side up a lot, but no AC for now. It's okay. Another thing I want to do really quick is delete the lines that run through the throttle body. These are coolant. These basically help warm up the throttle body in cold scenarios, but I won't really ever be winter driving this car. I don't believe so. So it's kind of beneficial to delete it. It'll simplify it. One last thing to fail. We're gonna take this hose and basically loop them. So this line to the block. OEM shape of the hose actually fits really nice and up and around, so that's much better. Could probably cut these off now too. But big issue, The harness is pretty shitty. I'm assuming this is the crank sensor right here. The wire, it looks like it was spliced and then like broken off, and then it was cut. The harness has 3 plugs that were actually fully cut off, and I don't know what the hell they are. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I can't find any good wiring diagrams on this or anything that'll load on my phone. So having a hard time trying to figure out what these connectors are. If any of you guys are BMW guys out there, let me know. Guys, don't just take random guesses in the comments. It'll just screw me up more. But Tommy's convinced that one of them is for the fuel pressure regulator unit, which I now have to buy because my chassis doesn't have it, I guess. I just found that one out, so have to get that. And he thinks that 2 of them are for the O2 sensors. He says there's rear O2 sensors, but the O2 sensor wires on here are these 2 things. But he said there's 2 more in the rear, which does make sense, but I don't understand why they would put them on the intake side. So SOS to my BMW friends, let me know. But besides that, I think this engine's basically set. I might power wash it one more time and get it ready for the mods for tomorrow. Another thing I noticed was we're missing the crank angle sensor right here. It's all right. I have it on the M15. I believe it's the same thing, and I have the whole harness. But the problem is I don't have the connect underneath the intake manifold for it. So this sensor right there comes all the way up. I unplugged it, and it's just a 3-prong. So maybe that's one of them. I guess we'll have to find out. But I think we made good progress for today. We got the M50 out of the car. We cleaned up a lot. We got the M50 on the ground. We got the M52 on the stands. Now all we have to do is a lot of cleaning. I'm not gonna paint the bay or anything. I'm just gonna freshen it up. I don't care enough. So clean that, refresh those. I'm getting the majority of the parts I need for it tomorrow to get it all fresh. Maybe we'll even marry it up to the clutch and transmission, and we should be all set. And then I just got to figure out this whole wiring issue, and then we could drop her in. I still need to get the fuel pressure regulator, and I got some research to do. We also need to mock up the supercharger again on the M52 accessories and change out the injectors. So we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do, and I want to get the engine for the Lexus this week, which I decided on. So I don't want to tell you guys yet. You'll have to find out. Also, you guys might see the Z in the background on jack stands, which is good news, not bad news. Good news. So if you guys watched the update video, you would have saw that I talked about the power steering situation on the Z. If you didn't, go watch it. So I took apart the whole power steering system in preparation for the new bracket to come in. That's going to correct the problem that I had. I thought it was going to come in on Monday, but it's Australian post and their tracking sucks. So for you Australian guys out there, I'm sorry you guys have to deal with that. But it's going to show up any day now, and once that comes in, I'll bang that out really quick on the side. And the Z should be all set. We could take it out and finally have some fun with it, and then get back to work on it, I guess. But we got a lot of work to do. And my BMW subscribers, I know there's a lot of you guys out there. If there's anything you guys suggest I should do when the motor's out, because I don't know anything about BMWs really, let me know if we should delete the ABS, if there's a line that always goes bad or something. Let me know, guys, because you guys have saved me in the past. So besides that, I think we're all set for, I guess that's really it. I keep rambling on, so you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Later.